preaching the gospel and get caught in the motel with a woman that ain't your wife. And then you don't want anybody to say anything about it. You did it publicly and you got caught. And God intended for you to get caught. So I'm preaching to so-called Christians today. The sinner, I mean, what? Stop sinning, sinner. Turn to Christ, sinner. You got to know Jesus, sinner, if you're going to go to heaven, sinner. But to us so-called believers who confessing and pretending to be saved, your destiny, some of your destinies are hell. Because you're pretending to be saved when you're not saved. I don't care how many church songs you play. You're being entertained. I don't care how good that choir sings. You have to really check it to make sure, were you worshiping, were you praising, or were you being entertained? That's right. There's a difference in it. Amen. So the deal is, we're not here to entertain. If you sing good, sing for the glory of God, but I don't need you entertaining me. I'll get Beyonce, I'll get James Brown, I'll get Michael Jackson, but I need you to usher in the presence of God, and you yourself got to be right for God to come. Hypocrite. Folks don't like that word hypocrite. I dare you to stand in a crowd and say, hypocrite. People are going to get mad at you. Because it convicts. Conviction comes. Because instantly they thought it makes you do a self-check. It instantly calls you to look inside, internally. So, he said, some people are not worthy of my word. He's not talking about the sinner, but he's talking about those people who are pretending to be saved, who are going places and doing things and knowing that it's wrong and falling up in the church on a Sunday, acting like they're all in a bag of chips. He said, that person. He said, some things I don't like. Some things, Jesus said, some things I despise. A proud look. This person who's walking in self-righteousness and self-gratification, who thinking they're all in a bag of chips, but yet they're deceiving people. God said it's time for it to stop. And before living word compromise, we will shut the door. Amen. Turn the lights out and won't come back no more. Amen. We will not compromise. Paul said, have I become your enemy because I spoke the truth? If you're going to do God's will, then do his will and not the will of man. You can't serve God and mammon too. You got to do the will of God. Amen. Take that plank out your eye. Or maybe you don't want to. Maybe you like your vision being distorted. Maybe you like your vision being compromised. Or maybe you don't want to see clearly. Maybe you like seeing partially. Maybe you like being almost blind. Maybe you like leading other people in the wrong way. Maybe you get some kind of sick pleasure, satisfaction out of seeing other people be lost. But to everyone, if you ain't living right, I'm not saying it's easy, but it's not as hard as you think either. You have to desire it. Do not let your heart envy sinners, but be zealous for the fear of the Lord all the day. Listen to me. This is a different message. for those who's supposed to be here this morning that Satan stopped. They're probably glad they listened to the devil this morning. They didn't get them out of bed to come. But listen to me. If you plan on serving God, you're going to change. Amen. And these ministers here will tell you in this church, they will not be a minister in this church. And if they do so, they will be set down until God tells me to get them back up. Maybe 10 years. You may decide to leave in 10 years. But anyway, I don't know how long it's going to be. But you cannot call yourself a Christian. You cannot do the things of the world, looking just like this world and confessing to be saved. And somebody lying to you, old unsaved preacher is lying to you and telling you that all you got to do is this. No, you need to change, baby. You need to change. You need to turn away from your wicked ways and stop doing what you're doing. Serve God holistically. You can't live with a man you're not married to. You can't live with a woman you're not married to and call yourself a Christian. You can't pray for me. You can't sing to me. You can't read to me. You can't read me no bedtime story. You can't do none of that because you are not saved. Amen. The time out for us to, just whitewashing this thing. Oh, now you want to get all sensitive. Hurt my feelings. Nobody hurt your feelings. But the rapper on the song, pardon me, young people, call you bitches and hoes. But when I tell you about God, I hurt your feelings. Come on now. When I tell you about your soul, I hurt your feelings. The man on the song just called you a bitch and a hoe. Oh my God. Somebody lock him up. But yet I tell you about God and about your sin, he hurt my feelings. He ain't had no business doing that. Well, you shouldn't have bought the rap song. The man on the rap song called you his hoe. And if you buy that song and listen to that song, you are his hoe. Can I get an amen on that? It's time out for this. It's time for us to stop now. It's time for us to stop the foolishness. We get so sensitive. We can't stand God's word. Oh, that hurt my feelings. Oh, that did this to me. You lying with your tough-skinned self. It's time for a change. And if I don't ever preach another sermon, if I don't ever be able to stand up here, listen to me. It's time for you to change. It's time for you to turn from your wicked ways and turn to God. And he said, then I will hear your prayer. But until you change from your wicked ways, I'm not hearing a word you got to say about you or about your children. Until you turn. How you going to listen to Mary J. Blige? How are you going to, Steve Harvey, hypocrite? You can't call yourself a Christian, but still cussing. You can't call yourself no Christian. It's time for a change. Look at this world. Some people lost their lives. And our president said, don't overreact. 4 people was killed. Don't overreact. Anti-American protests are going on. Don't overreact. In China, they are committing gender genocide. The women are killing their daughters until they have a male child. Don't overreact. Something's wrong. And I'm blaming on the preachers and the pulpit. They're leading the way of not living right, and we are promoting them. And you know he ain't living right. He a man. You make excuses for that sinner. Me being a man doesn't justify me cheating on my wife. Me being a man doesn't justify me drinking or stealing. Me being a man, that doesn't just, yes, I am a man, but God give me strength not to do those things. But we make excuses, which means you might as well be doing it yourself. So what do we do now? It is so sad. If you don't change, I'm going to give you this reality, and I'm not going to wipe it. You don't change, you will go to hell. And I'm not cursing. I'm just telling you a raw truth. That's a core truth. If you don't turn from your wicked way, if you don't change, you ain't going to some kind of way, somehow get in. It ain't no some way. It's the way, which is Jesus Christ, and it has to be done His way, baby. His way. If you don't do it His way, then you won't be making it in. How many of y'all want to go to heaven? How many of y'all are going to heaven? Without a doubt. I'm not going to live in hell and then die and go to hell, man. If it get any worse than this, I can't stand it. But if I don't get right, if you don't get right, then you won't be able to stand it. That's the whole idea of going to hell. You're going to be down there not being able to stand it. Wish you can get out, but you ain't going to be able to get out. But on this side, right now, while I'm preaching, I see people, faces running across the